Good morning, hockey watchers. We are just about to get underway watching Masters Men, Australia versus France. This should be a really tough game. Those two teams are high up in their particular group. In fact, let me bring up the standings for that group and tell you exactly where they're at. So Masters Men, currently top of the group is indeed France and Australia. France is currently undefeated. Australia has the same number of wins. They both have 6 wins, but Australia has 1 loss. Not sure exactly who that was to. Likely South Africa, but I could be wrong about that. Referees in the water. This is Dave Boucher. I'm here actually with the U.S. Masters women. I'm jumping in to help commentate this game. My French is generally crap, so I will not be doing anything in French. Apologies. For that matter, I can't really speak Australian either, so we're going to keep this to my Canadian-American English. And the game is underway. France in black, getting a really strong drive right off the start. These guys are a very, very tough team. The 2 buzzers in this complex. The low foghorn-like buzzer is the one that's going to be driving this particular game. And should have cut back over to the surface. Looks like it's advantage Australia. I missed what the call was. Australia takes the puck, swings it over to the far side and back, but no, cut off by France. I mean, you really have to watch hesitation here. Hesitation kills in this game, particularly against really fast teams like both these ones are. Both these teams actually like to swing the puck out a lot. Very open game, makes for a really pretty, nice game of hockey. Some of the men's games particularly tend to be grinded up the wall games. This one I think should be a pretty free-flowing game here. Advantage Australia again. We have the chat up in YouTube. If anybody's actually watching, either in France or Australia, feel free to comment in so we know you're out there. And if there's any issues with the feed, like volume, or you can't understand my Australian, let me know and I'll do my best. Okay, now we're right along that far wall. We have a battle there. France trying to push it ahead. Australia doing some good defense, but not actually taking possession of the puck. There we go. No, France still has possession. Look at that nice stick work. Best way to not take a foul in this kind of game is to just control the puck well and move it around the other players. My camera, there we go. Sorry, I need to move up to the surface. And this looks like advantage France. See Australia backing up there. Pretty close to the Australian goal, so France is going to want to look to capitalize here. See Guy, UWH. Is that Guy in the US, UWH, or a Guy in France? In other words, is that the Guy I have played with? Thanks for the comment. Right in the corner, France being patient, was looking for that pass, but Australia came in and broke it up. And bold move by Australia, looking to go across their goal, decided it was better probably to keep it off to the side, but shut down very, very quickly by France. All right, Australia being pushed back again. Okay, Guy is not the Guy I've played with in the US. It's looking to push it in. Again, you can see that heads-up play. Really looking around for it, not just bashing it through, but looking around for a good pass. Keeping possession. Ooh, and a little fin stop there by Australia. Let's see if the refs let that play on. And, oh, France with a really close shot at getting it in the goal. Not quite able to seal the deal, and I'm guessing that was advantage. Actually, stick foul against France. France taking the opportunity to sub some players out. And we have a ref timeout. And yeah, there was a, it seems like they're talking about advantage play. So we have two different refs talking about exactly which issue it is. There was that knockdown by that fin really close to the goal. And this may get a penalty shot or a penalty goal here. Let's see what the refs are going to do. Okay, so Australia pushed back, not an actual penalty goal, so I didn't see that as being a definitive stoppage of the goal, but definitely Australia being pushed back right into their 2-meter space. Yes, more comments by Guy. Yes, the Guy in Pittsburgh is the one I've played with in the US. Very nice French gentleman. I've played with him quite a bit. All right, France, ooh, really trying to push it along the wall there, getting very, very close to the goal. Australia fighting really hard to keep it out. And let's see what the referee saw. Looks like a penalty shot. Gloving by Australia, resulting in a penalty shot. Ref timeout for a little discussion here. And if that seems a little unfair, though clearly we never criticize the refs here. Looks like there's a Australian player being sent out for a minute and a penalty shot that France gets to take. So that's really going to hurt Australia in a big way. Here we go. Penalty shots are always exciting. Really hard to defend at this level. Really, really hard to defend. The players have such a good flick. Wow. Wow. Nice work by Australia. Nice work by Australia. And, okay, illegal knockdown by Australia on the arm. So goal France, and France is up 1-0. Very, very nice defense by the Australian player there. I'm not familiar with the numbers, so I have not been doing a terribly good job of calling out names here. I'll let you guys figure that out for yourselves. And we're off again. France wins the strike by quite a bit. Right over to that far wall. And now Australia with possession again, very, very patient, looking for somebody to pass to, but France blowing on through. And Australia gets a chance to break out. Nice work. French defenders just stopping him from making forward progress. A nice little passing play there by Australia, keeping possession. Ooh. That's will be gloving against Australia, unless I'm mistaken. And it looks like we have another ref timeout to discuss the situation. In fact, that was sufficiently bad gloving. It looks like an Australian player is being thrown out right about the time that the next Australia player gets to go in. The Australian player coming in. Okay, they've changed their mind. In fact, second Australia not going out. Wow. After all that, it's advantage Australia. Australia currently has one player out, but he will get to jump in as soon as the puck is touched. When a penalty runs out of time while this play is stopped, the player can come in as soon as the puck is touched. In fact, if you look at the referees on the surface, on a strike or on an advantage, they'll keep their arms raised until the puck is first touched. And that's so that the referees on the side know when that important moment happens. Another stoppage here. Australia being pushed back. So Australia is really back on their heels a lot here. France is really pushing in hard. Very tight space when they start on the 2 and 5 meter line. That's 2 meters out from the side, 5 meters out from the goal. Basically means all the defending players have to be in a 2 meter wide space, which is a very tight space. Look at that flick. Beautiful, beautiful. Very tight space. And he passes it through to one of his players who was just on his way up and said, "No going up for you. Stay down and take this pass." And a little bit of a blind pass there, but fortunately a French player comes through to take it. And nice shot at the backside of a referee. Looks like that's in the goal. See if that's a clean goal. Quick discussion by the referees before they actually go so far as to call that a goal. Looks like Andre from the USA in the water there. He's the only referee I recognize. Andre, and it is a penalty goal. Which, since I think it was already in, it's a bit redundant, but called a penalty goal. Gloving by Australia, trying to keep it out unsuccessfully. And Australia actually got their sticks on that strike first, but Australia immediately pushing it back. Oof. A little bit physical right along the wall there. Australia trying to break it out into the channel. Get it a little bit off the wall. It's a lot easier to advance the puck if you're not right on the wall. Particularly that right side wall. Okay, Australia looking for help, but the French players are just not giving them breathing room. There's a lot of French bodies down all the time. Swing it across to the other side of the pool. Really like that. France again looking to try and drive it in, and I won't exactly call that an own goal, but Aussie defender was right there trying to keep it out of the goal unsuccessfully. So that was Barnon putting that goal in. So France is already up 3-0 and about 9 minutes into the first half. Probably not the way Australia wanted to start this game. And Australia has taken a timeout. Excellent time, I think, to take a timeout. Each team has one timeout in each half, so taking a timeout halfway through the middle of the half is good timing. Sometimes the coaches will play chicken with each other, see who's going to call the timeout first. But Australia definitely needs to take a breath, reset their heads, get back in this game, get some pucks in the French goal. The Australians are really just taking this chance to have a breather, settle down. If you look at the French coach, he is talking and just gesticulating wildly at his players. I see a bunch of the Australia Masters women up in the stands, as well as Hugo. He doesn't really need to watch the game as a referee. He just has an instinctive awareness of exactly how the game is going. Sorry. Spending too much time looking at the stands. All right, France breaking it off the wall, and we have a stoppage. Looks like the referee is pointing at one player. That's never a good sign. Okay, very egregious gloving on the part of some French player who is now out for a minute. So this is going to give Australia a chance to hopefully try and get at least one in here. They only have a minute of where they're up a player. Those minutes go by awfully quickly at this game. And we have another stoppage again right away. So quickly, maybe. All right, that's, I guess the French managed to get a timeout called before play actually started. Looks like we'll have some more very assertive suggestions by that French coach. The other pool looks like they're switching the half, so they're a little bit ahead of this pool. Get a nice view of the facility. Beautiful facility here, nice and open. They've done a really good job. You can see the warm-up lanes there. The tournament's done a really good job of making sure all the teams have time to warm up, have space to warm up. And it's basically been, that part of it's been going like clockwork. Okay, Australia with the puck, still a man up. And going to swing it out. Nice little pass out there, but the French really shutting those swings out really, really well. Just not giving that Australian player any space, and in fact stealing the puck away. France, a little sweep out from the wall there. Oof. A bit of pushing right along the wall. Wow, look at that Australian player just surrounded by black sticks, not any space to go whatsoever. And advantage France. Four minutes left in this first half. Flick forward, but there's a move you typically see called a chip and chase, which is you flick it forward and immediately charge after it. Didn't really see that there. And another call here. Again, Australia being pushed back. Both players of both teams of full strength. It's slow getting the play going here. I'm not sure quite what's looks like they are in fact throwing out an Australian player. So this is going to make the remainder of this half a little bit challenging for Australia. Nice wide swing by Australia. 1, 2, 3 players across. That's exactly how you do it. If you ever want to see a textbook swing, that would be it. Pushing it right down into the Australian corner. Being up 3 points already, France is quite happy to kill a little bit of time, though I think knowing the French, they will also be extremely happy to put it in the goal as well. Nice position to be in. Trying to get it through to that forward, but a lot of Australian sticks down as well. And another stoppage. I couldn't quite tell if that was gloving or a stick foul against France, but either way, not playing legally. Australia still has another man out for another 30 seconds. Australia doing a very credible job of not getting scored on when you're that close to your own goal and a man down and playing a team as strong and fast as the French. So nice work, Aussies. France again looking to swing it out. I love, these beautiful swing plays. The whole team knows exactly how this is supposed to go and executing very, very well. Nice, back to the center. Very pretty hockey. And France knocking on the door of the goal, driving it in. Unless they did something naughty, that is going to be a goal. Goal, France. So 2 minutes left in the half. France is now up 4-0. France doing a great job of possession control, but look at Australia charging in. Wow, and that's possibly not a great shot since that went right off the shoulder on the one of the Australian players. One of the things the referees consider when they consider whether it's a dangerous shot is whether the puck was on the upward part of its trajectory or the downward part of its trajectory. They did not end up calling that a dangerous shot. And another stop. And that would be halftime. You'll note the code on the screen for the GoFundMe for the Underwater Hockey World Championships. Bringing this video to everybody takes a lot of technology, a lot of parts. In fact, there's the mechanism for moving the camera back and forth across the pool. A little bit sensitive. If you drive it too close to one of the walls, you end up breaking the belts. And these guys have gone through, let me count, 5 belts so far. Broken because people drove it too close to the side of the pool. So the GoFundMe is basically to keep Eric Straley in camera belts because we're going through a lot of them here. So if you are really enjoying the hockey, the last Worlds, it was actually a paid subscription to watch the games. This time it's all free up on YouTube. But we certainly appreciate any help that everybody can give to keep funding this camera system. Hopefully we'll see it used at other big tournaments. Certainly we've been using it in the US for national tournaments and regional tournaments. It's a great system, but it does take a lot of time from the guys as well as parts and technology to put it all together. All right, Australia, they're on the side talking about what their strategy is, how they need to, how they're going to beat France. These guys are all super experienced. They know what they need to do. They know how to do it. And again, you've seen a lot of those swing plays, a lot of those passes. These guys on both teams are down and in the right spot. Currently, France is just doing a little bit better job. I think that France is stretching the game out just a little bit more, getting more of those open opportunities, looking where the Aussies are and swimming around them. If you look at the goals that have happened, it really hasn't been to kind of bash the goal in through a crowd of bodies. Been a lot of goals that have been nicely opening up the game, pass around the players, get it right in. Certainly after the World Cup of Football, the French have set the bar very high for their team. Francois says, Go les Bleus. And we are 3 seconds from starting again. we go. Again, France winning these strikes pretty decisively. And another foul called against the Aussies. And both teams right now at full strength. And it's looking to push it through a bunch of Aussies right in the middle of the pool. And the Aussies managed to get it out to the wall with a nice drive down, nice change of direction there. Get it off the wall, drive it ahead, but right into a swarm of French bodies. There were 3 defenders down against that one poor Aussie forward. Now the Aussies get a little bit of space, nicely done, swing it all the way across the pool. Again, looking for help. There's help behind him, but would have been was hoping for a forward there ahead of him that he didn't quite have. And back across the pool. Wow, lots of swimming there. France right down the middle of the pool. He had help off to the side. France being very patient, looking for that shot, staying down. That's one of the key things in the game, is after you make a shot to your teammate, is not saying, oh, thank goodness I can go up for air. And in fact, staying down, make sure the teammate takes possession of the puck. Australia doing a nice job here. Was doing a nice job of driving towards the French goal, but France manages to get it back. Okay, here we go. Australia is looking for that. Oof. Looking to move it ahead, but it's not quite getting a solid possession of the puck. Okay, there we go. Slow things down, take possession, go. And France is doing a great job of disrupting all those Aussie plays. Looks like somebody might be standing on the camera because we're getting pushed a little low here, a little hard to see. All right, France driving in towards that Aussie goal. A lot of bodies on the bottom. And looks like another French goal. So that'll be 5-0 France. So taking control of this game pretty decisively. Really nice game to watch, though. Both teams are playing really well. And in fact, in addition to... Wow, hang on. Oh, no, it's not a referee. So in addition to getting a goal scored on them, the Aussies get a man thrown out. Insult after injury, they call that. Or adding insult to injury, as my mother would have said. Ryan Heckenberg out for a minute. I think that Australia can't really afford to kill time here. Given that they're down by so much, they need to get at least a few points in the goal. And you can see what I meant about France really disrupting those plays. We're looking for that forward pass on the Aussie back. And there were basically 2 French sticks right on that Australian forward. Just not giving him any room to do anything. Nice curl by France. Got it pass forward. And now we're getting a bunch of hacking at the puck. Advantage Australia. Looks like the Australian player is almost ready to come back in. So as soon as the puck is stuck touched. He'll be back in the water, I think. Probably see him coming on the far side of your screen there. And there's France driving down the pool. Good night, Zoe. Going to bed, not going to watch the rest of the game. Battle along the wall there, resulting in some kind of infringement. Wow, somebody out for a minute. Typically, I didn't actually see a warning prior to that, though I could easily have missed it. It's hard to see some of the details from up here. But typically, to get thrown out for a minute doing gloving, it's got to be pretty egregious. So, Aussie player out for 1 minute. France, that'd be Reese Quilford out for a minute. Those Australian players lined up nicely in front of the goal, but man, there's a wall of French coming right in. Okay, and Australia manages to clear it out to their corner. Another stoppage in play. Looks like it's against Australia. So they'll be pushed back hard on their goal, and France is going to come charging in. Puck right in the center of the goal. Ah, sorry, this was a penalty shot. I missed that entirely. Wow, nice. Well, nice. Ended up being a clean goal by the French. Their initial shot bounced right off the wall and back out. Not exactly what you want, but it ended up working for them. Different teams manage their players different ways in terms of a goal by Taros Hervé. In terms of the consequences for ending up in the sin bin. Some teams do fines. The Masters women team, the fine is especially high if you happen to be in the sin bin and the other team scores a goal. So I'm not sure if Australia is doing the same thing. If so, Reese is going to owe his teammates a beer or two. All right, Australia trying to keep possession. So exactly the right thing they need to do. Keep the puck away from the French. Scrambling a bit. France is continuing to drive down. French looking, there we go, look at that pass, beautiful, beautiful pass. Stopped right in the lip of the goal by an Australian defender. Hopefully that was with his stick. And it looks like a referee, nope, they're just going to call it advantage Australia. Not quite sure what that foul was. Australia, 7 minutes left. Australia has time to do something for sure. But again, they keep getting pushed back really hard by the French. At the beginning of the game, Australia was getting a little bit more drives out in the open. This half, Australia has really been back on its heels, spending a lot of its time fighting right in front of the goal. Okay, timeout being called by Australia. Good time to call it, right about halfway through this half. Australia having a little discussion there about how they want to do it, how they want to approach this. It's likely these teams are going to see each other in the playoffs, so Australia's definitely looking ahead, trying to figure out the best way to counter France. They definitely don't want a repeat of this game in the playoffs. Australia driving it down that far wall, but France immediately taking control, swinging it across the pool, and driving down that near side wall. Oof. Okay, Australia charging forward here, got 3 bodies down close together, looking to make a move, but shut down by those French players. Try swing it across the other way. Nice positioning, nice pass. Make that hockey move in the middle of the pool, but France just comes in and blows that move up. Stick foul by France. Warning to the player not to do that again. He'll get thrown out if the referees see him do that same thing again. Australia gets a chance to continue their push down the pool. Australia trying to keep possession here, take some control over the game, but boy, every time they get the puck, they're just being challenged and surrounded by French sticks. It's really hard to get a good play going here. They've got their players in the right position, but France is just reading those plays. Another swing across the far side of the pool by the French. Gonna take their time. A little bit of a pass up to nowhere, but there's a French player came down to get it. Right in the corner. France really hasn't done much of trying to just bash it up the wall. They're really, when they have the puck in the corner, they're looking to swing it out, which of course is a much more elegant way to score a goal than just hammering it down the back wall. Wow. So Australia had a little bit of a breakaway there, but then the French player just came in nicely, stole the puck, and drives back down to that Australian goal. He can see the goal. Oh, nothing worse than driving hard towards the goal and having the referee call the signal. The referee is throwing somebody out. I'm guessing a French player. No, I'm sorry, an Australian player going out. Currently the referees are discussing the situation, but there's an Australian player on the side. Reese out for a minute. And now we have a French timeout. 3 minutes left in the game. May as well use it. Let everybody get some air. Seconds left in this timeout. So again, Australia really, I think, must be hoping to get at least one goal in here. Get a little bit of credibility back in this game, figure out how to beat the French. Look forward to that playoff game where they're likely to meet again. battle along the wall there, but France has their players down in nice position, so does Australia. Australia desperately trying to clear it out. There we go. A little bit of breathing room, but a little knockdown by the French player there, breaking that pass. How close the French players are playing to the bottom. That's maybe one of the other advantages is they are glued to the bottom, getting a lot of power behind those behind the puck, behind those drives. Very strategic little pass there. French have all their players in exactly the right spot. But Australia doing a great job of taking it out to the corner, holding it. We got some cycle there by Australia. Ideally, if you're holding it in the corner as a defender, you want to hold it right up until your teammate can come in and get a stick on it. Little chip along the wall by the Australian, nicely done. There we go. Oh. Australians just stacking along that wall right now, but not able to advance it all the way before losing it. Tricky to see what's going on here. Our camera's getting bounced around. There we go. France continuing to drive in towards that goal. I'm not going to go quietly into that dark night at all. And it looks like another goal by France. So 7-0 France, a minute left in the game. Berlin Thomas with that goal. France has been extremely dominant in both this tournament and this game. And it looks like they're going to continue their undefeated streak. They are definitely the team to beat in this particular division, as actually they are in most of the divisions. Looks like we may be hearing a fair bit. Oops, sorry, I need to cut back underwater. Looks like we may be hearing a fair amount of the French national anthem at the medal ceremony. They're very dominant in the women's masters as well. The only game the French have lost in the women's masters division was, of course, to the very magnificent US Masters women. Australia trying to make a charge in towards the goal. France desperately clearing, and in fact, sending it right to an Aussie player. But we are out of time. Great game by France. Hard fight by Australia. And again, I think you're going to see these two teams play again in the somewhere in the playoffs. Currently, they're actually, I think based on this particular win, Australia may move to third place in. Sorry, well, lost by Australia. Australia may move to third place in the division. South Africa moving up to second, but France firmly in possession of first place in this particular division. Thank you all for watching, and stick around on the other YouTube channels. There is a lot of great hockey happening. Bye-bye.
日本の皆さん、こんにちは。いえ、日本時間ではこんばんはかもしれません。ですね、今回、水中ホッケーをですね、日本の皆さんにも多く知っていただきたいということでですね、日本語でも少しコメントを入れていきたいと思います。選手の紹介とか、簡単なルールの紹介などできればと思います。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。さあ、7月18日に開幕しました、水中ホッケー世界選手権、今日はですね第6戦目のフランス戦となります。これまでですねイングランド、スペイン、オランダ、トルコ、アメリカという国と日本は戦ってきました。今のところ得点がまだできていない日本。さあ今日もですねすごく強い国、フランスと対戦しますけれども、ぜひとも日本のゴールシーンを見てみたいなと思います。
Go ahead and start. It's recording here. I might be just a tiny bit late here. We'll see.
Recording now, but live.
さあ日本にとっての第6戦目、フランス戦が始まりました。
Yes. Okay. Yep, we're live before the games. Right at the beginning.
ちょっとうまくレコーディング